From Ohio. Jim, I want to know about that meeting. Lisa Page, Peter Strzok, Andy McCabe, and this is where Peter Strzok later messaged that they couldn't take the risk, I guess, of a Trump win. What do you think that meeting was all about?
I think it's where they plan to go after one party's nominee for president, and that never should happen in this great country where the FBI is working to help one candidate and working to harm another. But that looks like the meeting where it all kind of unfolded, and they decided we're going to go after Donald Trump because we can't trust the American people not to elect this guy. Thank goodness the American people did elect Donald Trump and make him the next president.
Well, the Democrats make me laugh. They laugh like a sad clown on this one. You know, we used to be able to count on Democrats when potential government abuses of power were highlighted. Now we can't. What do I mean by this? Guys, listen, I was a federal agent. The awesome power of the federal government to take your life, your reputation, and your money absolutely terrifies me. And it should scare you, too. When we have an investigation against any American citizen, the president included, that may have been initiated due to political bias. We still haven't seen any evidence of Russian collusion. Keep that in mind. Where are the Democrats on this? Why aren't they highlighting attention on this, too? And you know what? I applaud the president for using his Twitter to defend himself. This may very well be a political witch hunt, and he deserves to call attention to it, just like any other American citizen being potentially targeted here.
Dan, you know, I mean, where could this lead? And the implications of Andy McCabe, because he's the one who was referred to in those texts as potentially talking about an insurance policy should President Trump get elected. Ed, as we've laid out all morning, the ties to his wife and the political donations from Clinton-backed donors. If this is true, I mean, is this something where something more serious than a retirement could possibly happen? I mean, is he just trying to get out as quick as he can?
Well, I think the key question here is going to be, what was the insurance policy discussed in Andy's office as the Strzok Page texts indicate? Was that insurance policy, and this is the key question, guys, was that insurance policy the use of the dossier to initiate FISA warrants against Carter Page and Trump operatives? Remember, that dossier was not verified. Matter of fact, it was Jim Comey, the director of the FBI himself, who, and I'm quoting him here, called it a salacious document after the FISA warrants had been issued. Think about what that means. If that was used, the dossier, to spy on Americans, and then later on the FBI director himself said it was salacious, and McCabe may have been involved in that, you have a really big problem if that was the, quote, insurance policy, and you may be looking at a congressional investigation.
If that's the way the dominoes fall. You know, another issue, there's been a dramatic shuffling there at the FBI, and these two most recent announcements, the potential Andrew McCabe retirement and also the reassignment of James Baker, who's the general counsel. I mean, these are two very significant players. I mean, what does this mean when you see these big players getting put in different positions?
Yeah, let me just say first, none of this is in any way an indictment on the working men and women of the FBI. That cannot be said enough. They are the greatest law enforcement agency in the world. I've worked with them. But having said that, guys, listen, this is a powerful, powerful law enforcement agency. They could destroy your life. Listen, if you're a terrorist, you deserve to have your life destroyed. But there are some people out there who are starting to question what happened here. These are fair questions. If America loses faith in the FBI, the most powerful federal law enforcement agency in this country, we're going to be in a really, really dark place. A house cleaning has to happen right now, or we're going to all be in a lot of trouble.
Wait, didn't somebody write a book? What happened?
I mean,
yeah, I told you, Hillary Clinton. What she happened? I mean, like I said, the question and the answer on the cover of the book. What happened? She happened. That's what happened. Hillary Clinton.
What you're saying is the most
like
important.
A forest fire, the Clintons.
Well, of course, but you're also saying if you've drained the swamp at the top, it's the guys at the bottom doing the hard work that care the most about that at the FBI.
They do. And I still hear from people in the rank and file, and they're horrified by all this. You know, guys, listen, I was a Secret Service agent. I had very political inclinations I knew couldn't correspond with continuing my time as a federal agent. I'm not looking for a pat on the back from anyone, but I left. I gave up my retirement and everything else. If you're committed to politics and not law enforcement, then get the heck out of law enforcement and get into politics. Dan, I mean, listen, it's a fair deal to ask.
Dan, we've got 30 seconds, but another important thing, we don't want to get lost here over Christmas. The Department of Homeland Security putting out this report suggesting that chain migration is letting terror-related suspects into the U.S. This is a serious subject that's not being talked about.
And we just saw this most recent alleged attack on the part of someone that got in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in which a number of troopers and police were targeted.
Yeah, chain migration is a disaster, folks. It allows a geometrically growing number of people a claim on American citizenship. American citizenship is not a global right. American citizenship is something to be valued. We need to value the people coming in. They need to add value to the United States. This is a simple proposition. This is a bunt, a ground ball, and most Americans understand that's a winning issue for Trump, by the way, getting rid of chain migration.
Great stuff.
The deep state drama at the FBI. I want to ask the following question of someone who knows the answer, and that is this. Is the FBI probe of leading politicians totally and hopelessly politicized? Come on in, please. James Carlstrom, former FBI Assistant Director. He's always had something to say about this. What do you got to say about it now?
Well, you know, Stuart, for over a year and a half, I think, we've been talking about this sort of reverse crescendo. We started off with Jim Comey and all his crazy actions that I thought were outside the main of how the FBI should operate. And now we come to this, you know, this focus on, you know, the fifth estate that I've talked about, you know, that includes multiplicities of people. Well, now we know it also includes a bunch of sycophants in the FBI, you know, that were part of the Comey team, apparently, and people in justice also, that I believe have exposure now for obstruction of justice. I mean, people, people tweet each other and they send text messages, but they don't plan. The FBI is not in the business of planning to destroy a president of the United States. I mean, and it's clear to me that that's what they were. I think they were. I think they were trying. I think they were way above their capability. You know, this guy thinks he's the Lone Ranger, this Peter Strzok. He's going to float in here, and if by any chance Trump gets elected, which is a catastrophe in his mind, I mean, I don't know what his mind is thinking. Obama basically destroyed the country. Now you have a guy that wants to fix it, okay? But anyway, if that's his thinking, you know, and they were obviously, from the words that we saw, they're in Andy's office plotting some kind of thing. And I think that some kind of thing is what we're seeing right now. And we've seen for the last, ever since he's been elected, we've seen this facade and this phony challenge to Trump about collusion in Russia, which nothing could be further from the truth. All the collusions with the Democrats. And it's very, very depressing to the FBI. Well, the FBI agents, I mean, 99%, exactly. 0.9 hard-working, patriotic guys that come to work and girls that come to work, you know, for the good of the country. And you've got this cabal of people. You know, you've got this deputy director who should have been out a long time ago for his actions. And then you got Peter Strzok and who knows how many others. You know, and you got Comey with all the phony stuff that he did. And, you know, but I think finally we're going to get to the end of this. But the big mystery here is the Justice Department. What is the Justice Department doing? What is the Attorney General of the United States doing? You know, it's too bad for Donald Trump, who's I've known for a long, long time. And with all his little things that he does that people don't like, his policies are what's going to bring the United States back, globally, in my view. Yet, you know, you have this huge storm of people that are just putting roadblock after roadblock. It's a mystery to me why he hasn't called over to the Attorney General and told the Attorney General, give the oversight committees the documents they're looking for. Why is the Trump Justice Department not complying with subpoenas from the Justice Department that want to look into this thing?
Yeah. You know, I want to summarize this. I want to be very clear about it. I have said, in my opinion, and it is an opinion, there is a cabal active within the FBI and the Justice Department, which hates Trump, which protected Hillary Clinton and tried to bring down Donald Trump. And that is an extraordinary story of interference in an American presidential election.
It is.
And you're agreeing with me on this?
Oh, yeah, and we've been talking about this in different
yeah, but now it's out in the open. Now we're saying
without question, that's what it was. Yeah, just like the whole so-called Clinton investigation was phony from the beginning. We've talked about that. No grand jury, giving witnesses immunity, putting all the subjects in one room at the same time. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's nuts what they did.
Look, James, I'm coming up on a hard break, but I want to ask this question. You've got 20 seconds. What's morale like in the FBI now?
It's not good, but I think recent events that I'm aware of are going to improve that, because there's going to be actually something is going to happen. in my view.
Oh, are you going to leave us on that? Oh, James, you've got to come back.
Yes. Well, I think there's a lot of patriots that have just had it up to here with what's going on, and they're going to step forward and tell people what the shenanigans have been, how they shut down the Clinton Foundation investigation, how other things, were done that are so anti what the FBI and the United States and this country's about.
We want to hear it, James Carlstrom. We want to hear it here. That's a fact. James, thank you very much indeed. Merry Christmas to you, young man.
Merry Christmas.
Good to see you, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.